Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American black didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And what we do here at African Americans Ain't Africans, what you normally get for news, entertainment, education, damn near breathing, you get from other people. Right here, you're getting it from the people connected to the land that's giving you information you should be getting every day, but you don't. So we're here to make sure that you get it. Joining me as always is the princess from the Accomax on the eastern shore of Virginia, Miss Lisa Cypress. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, how are you doing, Carrie, Indigenous One? How's it going?
I'm doing great, and I like what's about to go down right now.
It's going to be cool. I thank you for having me on again. Appreciate the invite. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And hopefully, we get a little bit something out of this whole um, conversation here. We have put the StreamYard in the chat. If you want to come and join us, you're more than welcome to join the conversation, please. But we're going to start off by talking about what's going on, like the realization that we're dealing in a realm, a condition of occupation by uh these entities that deal in demonic forces, right? If we don't understand that, you got to go back to square one. Just go back, reverse, start taking steps backwards and get this right, because that is what we have to become clear about, is that these entities may not know anything, but they do dabble in the dark arts. And a lot of times they don't know quite what they're doing, but they do actively participate in ritual sacrifices, right? That's what they do. This is a fact. So say what they want about us doing all kinds of things and claiming that we was this kind of people or did whatever. These people actually do everything that they can that is um, filled with greed, with all the dark things: greed, insecurity, lack, loss, fear. That's what they deal in, what is the lowest vibration, right? That's what they promote. So when we see that our dear beloved Angie Stone is gone, everyone didn't just say, "Oh, isn't that tragic?" Because first of all, something with the accident didn't make doesn't just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. Her being the sole person that gets unalived doesn't add up. What she was saying prior to this happening doesn't add up. The fact that we keep seeing our the so-called people in the industry, music, movies, what have you, entertainment, right? Going through this whole ritualistic "I'm gonna be unalived" is concerning, but it also should be sending us a message that we understand and that we actually overstand now, right? That when you ask these demonic entities to go into contract with you, you are asking them to take over you. When you ask for them to go into contract with you, you are asking them to take over you. You want to be a star. And then you start, but you didn't care about the stipulations of becoming that star when you started. You just wanted to be that entertainment success. You can't go 30 years down the road and then say, Dad, I got ripped off. Well, you did agree to go into contract with them. Went into a contract with some demonic force, and yet you mad that they were working on demon time? Did they handle you with demon time? Did they handle you like this? That you got beat up, burnt down, corrupted, ruined, ripped off? You're surprised? Really? You want people to feel sorry for you? Why? Right, George. It goes on. It goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on. And why don't we see that this is happening? But it also happens when you enter in, like the people that want to be, I want to be a Native American. Oh, why you want to enter in a contract with them? Do you want to get recognized? Why you want to? How do they have the authority to do anything for the Indian? They don't have the authority to give you anything. They just need to get the heck out of your way and let go of your stuff. Let go. Get out. They don't need to give nothing because they don't have nothing to give. We have to understand what we have and what they have is totally different, and they don't have anything. They simply occupy, steal, corrupt, lie, mislead, all of that.
And they use our energy to do that. That's why we live double stupid. They use our energy to do what they do. And then we try to, let's boycott. We do all that stupid shit. No, this is what we do as a group of people. We join in the contract, everything, all kind of stuff. And then we expect like Jesus supposed to come down on the magic carpet and hook us up. This shit is our fault, y'all. And we worship these people. I know people, if you say something bad about Michael Jackson, they'll slap the shit out of you. Mm-hmm. That's how people worship these folks. This whole Angie Stone story, I mean, everybody knows what it is. I mean, you can tell by the comments, they know what it is. This is the stuff we get into, y'all. We don't want to get out of. I'm rich. I got on a better pair of shoes than you, nigga. That's how we are towards each other.
That's the way they act when they feel like they winning. They don't want to come on YouTube when they feel like they getting their coins, right? When they don't come on YouTube and try to get the common people to give them sympathy when they getting their coins, right? I don't see them. It's only when they get struck down. That's when they want to start talking to their sisters and brothers in the streets. Then they want to talk to you. Ooh, I relate to me because I can relate to you. I'm being done wrong. Somebody stand up with me.
And they suck the life right out of that sister. They suck the life. And check this out. This is what's going to really turn your noodle. That's what they do to all of us. Brain.
I know.
The brain's supposed to be flexible. Well, not the brain. The mind, the thoughts are supposed to be flexible and flip like a noodle and go into all different forms. We don't do that.
Facts.
We get on an ideology and stick with it for forever. Speaking of forever, you see how Angie Stone looked at the end? And if you saw that interview before she died, the one she gave right before she died, this chick has been in the music industry for 40 years. 40 years. And they've been pimping her since that time. And you know what's funny? They do that to every single last one of us. I know you don't want to admit it, you too embarrassed, don't they? So this is why the stuff that we tell you ain't coming from an old bullshit. I heard what's happening. Nah, we're trying to give you some information that you're directly connected to, because it's you that makes sure all these people pay. They still showing videos of Bumpy Johnson, and he ruined the community, what, 60, 70 years ago? This is what the
Mm.
African American does. This is how the black man
Mhm.
thinks. They believe in stuff and they pass that shit down to their kids. That's what the African American does. So my take on the whole Angie Stone thing, look, and for those of you who are young enough to remember when they came in with that group, The Sequence, when hip hop first started, Angie
Mm.
Stone was fine. You see her at the end,
Mm.
that's sucking the life out of you.
Mm.
That's sucking the life out of you. And many of us, we would rather do that way than doing it our way. Earlier on in the week, uh, Lisa, you was going to play something from Paul Mooney.
Yeah, Angie Stone. It's Angie back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Angie talking about what happened to her, but I mean, she looked good. Not too long ago. I mean, really, like this whole I'm you know is Angie
See,
been
she's fine right there.
fine right there. You know what I'm saying? Angie been
Ooh,
fine. Okay. Hmm.
yeah. Oh, but what
Angie
I'm
been fine.
saying,
But see
look
what
at her
happened.
now.
Yeah, let's go to the interview. Let's go to the footage. All right, we're gonna get it. Okay. All righty. I think are we there? We're there. We're there. Okay, I'm about to go.
In Hollywood. That Hollywood, and there's a lot of black folks too. And they be throwing up them signs. You see them, this, that, all of them. Watch the rappers, watch them folks. It's scary. It's very scary. That devil is real.
And this machine around us, this so-called music industry, is such a demonic thing. It sacrifices people's lives and their essences, and at the drop of a dime.
But at the same time, y'all, Shaka Khan be in the mix of doing a lot of the demon work. Okay,
Because there's a bunch of devil
because
workers
like
in there.
if y'all watch any of the movies about Whitney or about I think Phyllis Hyman too, somebody else. I watched a couple of docs. No. Natalie Cole and the Whitney Houston. You see that who's giving drugs to them? Shaka. Who's there giving them drugs? Then later she comes back around and says, "Oh, poor girl, you need to clean yourself up." Shaka. Shaka be doing some work. Okay, don't get it twisted. She still looks great, but what about everybody else?
That
Just saying.
makeup.
No.
That always,
Shaka look good for real. I
so
mean,
when she step out, so when she just washed her hair, water still dripping off of her.
I'm telling you, I don't know what it's like Smokey and them other people. They done some kind of sacrifice. They sacrifice the folks. Them people are not getting older and they look good, and it's not even like all made up. It's they done something. I'm just telling you, she be
Okay.
behind a lot of stuff. She's talking about the demons, but honey, she knows
She
a little
knows
bit
for
more
sure,
how
huh?
to cheat on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
In Hollywood. That Hollywood, and there's a lot of black folks too. And they be throwing up them signs. You see them, this, that, all of them. Watch the rappers, watch them folks. It's scary. It's very scary. That devil is real.
And this machine around us, this so-called music industry, is such a demonic thing. It sacrifices people's lives and their essences, and at the drop of a dime. I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me.
If God delivered Daniel, guess what? He'll do the same for you.
Thank you for Chestnut checking for me. Watching.
A whole lot. And I'm just here to let you know I am so outdone with things that have been going on in and around me. And because we're at the end of 2024, I kind of just want to shut it down, looking forward to 2025. I want y'all to go like and share, get some people on this live, mainly because I'm about to reveal some stuff that, Lord just told me to talk about today. Going out of this year, going into a new year, I need to bring you guys up to speed with some things that I've kept very personal and to myself. Some things I wanted to share and other things I didn't want to share, but now I'm okay to reveal some things that is probably going to shock some people. It was a lot for me to get on here and do this. I mean, this last month has been trying. First out, I want to shout out all the people in Detroit. I had a show that was supposed to be with Music Soul Child, Marsha Ambrosia. Shout out to Raheem Devon for standing in for me. I had something happen that caused me not to be there, but God just needed to sit me down so I could focus on me. So before I go into just, what I experienced, what I went through, I want to let you guys know I almost didn't make it through this process because it was something that just kind of hit me. It was a day or so before I was scheduled to fly out to Detroit. And I was very excited. All the tickets were bought, the hotels were paid for, the band was ready to go. And then I got hit with this crazy news, and it kind of threw me for a loop. So I figured I better share it with you all, and you can pass it on, because just because we're in the industry doesn't mean we're not human. Things happen all the time. And unfortunately, when this happened, I just wasn't prepared for it.
Lisa, can you pause it for a minute?
It caused me to miss.
So check this out, guys. I don't want you to pay attention to just how she look. Listens to how she sounds. Okay, Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah.
That show that I was super, super excited about. Go ahead and get somebody to come back to the live. Like I said, I don't want to have to say it again. I haven't even told my team that I was going on today. I just threw up my light and just put on a little something just so I could get with you guys. All right, we got some people in the room now. Maybe for some people, they might be happy that it happened to me, because everybody don't wish good things for you. Some people wish bad things for you, and I continue to pray. I will say this. It has been one heck of a ride. This last month, the enemy was trying to take me out. He was really trying to take me out. And okay, I'm gonna wait till we get those 50, 60. We had 51. Let me see, can I get 70 to 100 people in the room right now before I reveal some very, very interesting information. And it is #1 in several countries. We put it out on the 15th of November. On the 14th, because I wasn't breathing so well. Came to find out I had what was a bacterial blood infection that I had gotten when they stuck me with the needle. It had went into my bloodstream.
Now I'm thinking, why did she get a bacterial blood infection? Now, see, the only way, to me, in my experience, that she would get a bacterial blood infection from a needle is that maybe she's getting dialysis. Like she might have been on dialysis, because then you have a central needle, and yeah, you can get a blood infection that would actually affect you to the point where your whole body becomes septic. But just like a little IV, no, that's not going to cause a bacteria infection like a little IV. And why was she getting a needle? That's the other thing. So it makes me think that Angie might have been on dialysis, something like that, or getting some kind of chemo drug or some kind of drug infusion, or maybe she was getting the old Ozempic infusion. I don't know. And they had given her an infected needle or infected her. But that really wouldn't, because that's not central. It's not like in your main bloodstream kind of. I don't know. It sounds like she was, like I said, either on dialysis or something more serious.
And cause a staph infection of the blood. Now, I didn't have a clue that there was a blood infection until they rushed me into ICU. I went into ICU and I went to use the restroom and I passed out in the restroom. My oxygen went all the way down and rendered me basically unconscious. When I came back to, the nurses began to tell me that I was screaming for Jesus, because when I went down, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, I didn't know what was happening. All I know is it was all of a sudden. And I began to praise God and call on his name, because I knew biblically that if I was transitioning, I needed to be calling on Jesus. And I need to be calling him by his name. So I began to scream his name. When they brought me to us, when they told me I was lucky to be alive, because I was on the floor. And
Okay. So I don't know if y'all want to continue to talk, to listen to this or not, but this is like, okay, I don't know what was going on with her health-wise, what was really going on with her, but obviously something serious was going on, because she was already in the hospital when she got rushed to an ICU. So what she was having done, or what was the issue that she was in the hospital in the first place, that she doesn't reveal. Or in some kind of healthcare facility, which if they just sent her to ICU, that means she was already in the hospital. Maybe
No,
it's just not adding up. But anyway, go ahead.
well, check this out. It's very important to listen to what Lisa just said and what this brother's saying right now in the group. Who is this God and Lord they be referencing? Now, most of it just go over our head. I don't know. We don't get it. But who is this Lord and God that they're always referencing when they're about to get their awards, when they're about to get their little trinkets? They're always talking about this God and this Lord. And they're always wearing crosses on their neck. See, these are little details most of us, I'm not saying all of us do, because obviously we do. But who is this Lord and God that they're talking about? Check this out. And this will get you more into this Angie Stone and all these entertainers, what they be doing and how they get us to worship these people. I mean, I'm serious. Say something about Luther to a sister that loved Luther Vandross. She'll scratch your eyeballs out. Right? But we'll lie and say, yeah, that's exactly what we do. This is the type of stuff We worship in front of our children, don't we? And so when things are happening in real life, like what's going on with Lisa and what's going on with basically all of us, these are the things that we're into. These are the things that we worship. These are the things that we believe. All this stuff we're into. Check this brother out right here.
Christians, we need to have a conversation. Your pastor has been lying to you for years, and he probably doesn't even realize it. I used to stand on a platform week after week, every Sunday and Wednesday night, preaching and proclaiming what I believed to be the truth. I wasn't lying intentionally. I was convinced that what I was saying was right, that I was leading people closer to God and his goodness and his will and his plan. But here's the thing. When you're in that world, you don't often allow yourself to question these things. You just repeat what you've been taught. You accept the answers you've been given, and you told the line. It wasn't until I stepped away from the church that I realized just how much of what I preached was wrong, false, fallacious even. And I'm not talking about minor errors. I'm talking about massive foundational lies that I spread, not because I was being willingly deceptive, but because I honestly believed that faith was the closest to truth that we could ever hope for. That was my sincere belief. These are the lies that keep Christianity going, the ones that keep people trapped in fear, guilt, and blind obedience called faith. So today, we're going to count down the top 10 lies I told as a pastor without even realizing it. 9. The Bible is the word of God, unadulterated, inerrant, the word of God in full. I used to say this with absolute conviction, but honestly, I struggled in examining what that even meant. The Bible is a collection of books written by flawed humans over centuries, copied, edited, and mistranslated by people with their own agendas. But we call it God's word as if we're a magical, flawless text delivered straight from heaven. Meanwhile, we cherry-picked what we liked and ignored the contradictions, the absurdities, and the outright atrocities. If the Bible is God's perfect word, then why did he get so many things wrong? Number 8, Jesus loves you no matter what. Oh, really? Because according to the Bible, Jesus' love is conditional to the point of being cruel. Believe in him or face eternal punishment. That's not love. That's coercion. But in church, we marketed Christianity as a religion of unconditional love, when in reality, it's a system of emotional manipulation. Jesus loves you sounds nice, but if love comes with the threat of hell, it's not love. It's a hostage situation.
Yeah.
So what the brother's saying, now this dude was one of the cats who stood up lying to you. And at least, and this is what I want everybody to get. At least he has the balls to go ahead and say, hey, I was wrong. Many of us hear that and we turn away from it. We cut it off. I don't want to hear that. And this brother's telling you the truth. What the brother said earlier, Diamond in the Rough said, Lord is a British term. Why do they worship this God? Who is that? What is it? And when you look it up, because most people don't, they just hear the word and repeat it and repeat it. That's all we do. This is how we stay stuck in these everyday problems that shouldn't really be problems. Because we are worshiping something that we have absolutely nothing in our minds tell us, what am I doing? And we're arrogant with it too. Can't explain it or start a fight over something that's right in front of your face and you can't even recognize it. You will lie to your kids. You will lie to your grandkids. But since you got your hair dyed blonde, it sounds better. Pay attention to these ideologies and words, symbols, and all this stuff being put in front of you and your children because it's your job to protect your children from that. Let them know what it is. They'll come up with the answer. That's how that's why we're like we're now. You won't even think about nothing. Somebody tell you something, you won't even look at it. You just go with it, no matter who says it. Think about it. That's why we're in the position now. Well, we get a headache if we are told to think. Talk to some people about thinking. They'll tell you they get a headache when they think. They've never done it before. That's where we are.
And you're saying that, and I'm laughing, but people really do. And they say they get a headache when they have to think. Don't give me too much information because we're gonna go to sleep. Like that is a fact of us today. I don't know if it's us all forever or we always been like that, but that is the state of being. We don't want to think. And then when you tell them something, you got to make it quick or else you're going to lose your focus.
Okay, Lisa, before you show your piece on the graves, let me play this one with this sister talking about this Section 8 stuff. I think this hits a lot of people, Check out what this sister says about what's going on with this Section 8 and all this stuff, welfare stuff that everybody thinks that you're on, but check out who's really on it. Check this out.
Story time. Let me give you a true story about Section 8. Let me give you a true story about Section 8 since all y'all think Section 8 is just black people. Right? That's it. Y'all think it's just a DI program for only black people. Let me give you a true story. Right? I can't say the name or whatever because it's an NDA and it's my prior boss. Millionaire. Big time developer. Getting food stamps. $2,000. Getting Section 8, not one voucher, but 3 vouchers to accommodate each floor in his one family house. True story here, people. True story. True story. Was given 2 shell properties. Given 2 shell properties. Yeah, given 2 shell properties, $2,000 a month in food stamps, and the vehicle, the vans. Pay attention, the vans, right? But we're not even going to go there. Let's go to Chinatown. Let's go to Chinatown. I'm familiar with New York. I'm not familiar with anywhere else. So let's go to Chinatown. Food stamps, Section 8, and some of the nicest buildings. Childcare, everything. With money in the bank. Now we're going to go back to the black community because a black woman stood on the internet talking about all black people do. They don't work. All black people do, black woman, is get public assistance, Section 8, and make babies all day long. Black woman. Now, I say this. Section 8 in the black community is totally different from the other communities. If you know somebody with Section 8 that's paying $5 in rent, something's wrong with them. That's why they can't get nothing in life. But most people with Section 8 is really paying rent. And I'm talking numbers. So I'm lost. When the other communities are not paying anything. Food stamps, baby, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. 1 bedroom rent in New York, if you're on public assistance, not even a 1 bedroom, for 1 person, if you're on public assistance in New York, The rent is $215 is what they're giving you in 2025. Where you going out in New York with 200? Where you going anywhere to get an apartment for $215? But the other communities don't have those guidelines of amounts. They get more. So you're so focused on everything about the Black people is ridiculous. And it's so many Black people out here doing the damn thing. It's a shame that they're being discredited. It's a shame that Black people are discrediting their own Black people. And I tell you, skin folk ain't kinfolk. And for us, then we do Black people. That's why when people say, oh, we got to stand by Eric Adams, stand by him and do what? Kick him? What are we standing behind him for? What are we standing near him for? He's a skin folk that ain't a kinfolk. And what did he do? Oh, Master, I so sorry. I didn't know my place. Okay, you showed me, Master. Could you please stop now? I was going to work in the kitchen. I was going to do good. You need me to go out there and beat me some of those Black folk in the field? I was going to beat the Master. What do you need me to do? Come on now. Come on, take it as you want. Get upset. I'm shadow banned, so this ain't going nowhere anyway. And I just seen this and I had to laugh. Like, what? What? All Black people are on public assistance? So DEI is firing who? If Black people don't work, who the hell is DEI firing? If all the Black people are on welfare, who the hell is DEI firing? Who are they firing? Y'all gotta make up your mind here. Is DEI the Black people that ain't got no education, that don't know nothing, that don't want nothing, but was just given a good job? Or Black people staying home on welfare all day, collecting these big checks of $65 a week, getting Section 8, and making babies all day? Let's make this make sense. Which one is it? Which one is it? Are we working or are we not working? Girl, I want to say the name or whatever, but guess what? She's not getting that engagement off of me. She's not getting that publicity off of me. She's getting a whole ton of it off of the others. They're feeding into her whole support for DT and President Musk. They're feeding into it. But like I said, I'm shadow banned, so this ain't going to go but 300 people the most. But let's stop allowing ourselves to be divided and conquered. It's 2025. Ignore the whites. They don't care about the greens nor the yellows, the purples or the pinks. They don't care. So let's cut it out. Let's just continue to get this money. TikTok wasn't saved. It's still banned, and it's getting ready to be banned back in April. They just opened the doors for people to get in. So everybody get on in. Right. Let's just have fun with this. These apps should be for fun. Follow me. The hell? All you got to do is just tap. Just follow me and stop playing around.
I like her. Master, you want me to go out there and beat them, boss? Oh man, that's how these Negroes sound, and this is what I'm saying. So this is the point I want everybody to get. Did you hear the part where she says they get 3 Section 8 checks, one for each floor in their house, and you struggling, starving to pay rent? This is how they do you because you don't know who you are. You claim that you a Hebrew Israelite, a foreigner. You're claiming that you're an African American, a foreigner, claiming that you're Black, which is nothing. You saw she kept saying the term Black. Her t-shirt was Black. She wasn't. I don't know how we're missing this. And so a lot of stuff is on us because we just think we know everything and really don't know shit. So that's my piece on it, Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're so hard on ourselves, though, in a way, like the fact that we're like, oh, we're hypercritical of ourselves, and they use that against us. They use that against us. They use the fact that we are self-deprecating against us. Look, everything that we go through every day of our lives, everything that we have been through in the history of us being, we are owed everything. I've always been of the opinion, if you, whatever you can get, whatsoever you can have, you deserve it. If somebody wants to sit on their ass and not do shit, we deserve it as a collective. You know what I mean? I don't understand how we can be critical of that. As much as we go through and as much as we have been through and continue to go through, why do we feel like, and you guys know, most of the people that really are not doing stuff are kind of slow. They're not like your average bear. They're a little, they are impaired. You know, you want to act like these people aren't impaired. They're impaired. They are not highly functioning people, most of these people. Some of them may just be lazy, but you know what? Damn it, who does deserve to be lazy? You got rich people that's lazy as hell. They taking everything from you and they ain't working for nothing. They stealing everything and you don't even know it. Just because we don't understand and know what's really going on around us don't mean it ain't so. See, it's just like the way they don't want you to reclaim your patented land, but they taking your land and giving it to each other for $0 every day. They're not working for it. And then what you hear Negroes on the internet do, oh, we should get our money together and buy some land. Do you understand that most of these daggone entities ain't buying your land? They're just giving it to each other for nothing. Do you if you could comprehend the amount of territory that's given away and has been given away and is given away every day to this moment for $0, you need to go sit down somewhere. See, that's the thing. We think everything's a buck. Everybody's doing things the right way. Oh yeah, they're working for this land. They working for they buying this, they buying that. No, you don't understand that when your people lost 400 acres of land, 100 acres, 87 acres of land, that they gave it to each other for nothing. Somebody got that $87 for nothing. Somebody got 100 acres for nothing, 200 acres for nothing. I see it in the records. It's all over the place. They're doing it in plain sight. They win it and we're losing and you don't know it, man. It's damaging. When you don't know that everybody's winning and you're fighting to do things the right way, you're not playing the game right. You're really not playing the game right.
Right? That's exactly how it is. And so it's way past time for us to get over, especially the people that's coming telling you stuff that would bring us together simply just by where you lived, where your grandmama lived. All the people your grandmama was kin to, those your kin too. Ain't it? But we forget about them and we pick up these entertainers and we worship them. We help pimp them. So think about that. When you hear all these cats getting streets and stuff named after them, remember what these people sing about that the average person supports. This brother gets mad at me because he's talking about some rapper named Notorious Big. And I'm like, hey, well, didn't Notorious Big say he'll suck a girl's daddy's thing? All that negative stuff. Didn't he say he'll kill a 13-year-old and throw her off a bridge? Wasn't that in his music? Wasn't that pumped out into the airwaves of your children and you bought it? You wear a Biggie t-shirt? This is what I mean about we worship these people. Worship them. And Many of you, maybe not many here, but is mad at me for bringing that to the forefront. This is the stuff you pass down to your children. And get mad when somebody, hey, don't do that. So a lot of this stuff that's going on, remember, our fingerprints is on the evidence. You can try to pretend like somebody doing something to you, like Lisa was bringing up about this chick Angie Stone. No, let me now. This chick been in the music game longer than many of you been alive. All these cats do. And Lisa said it a kind of way earlier that we get into these arenas and we have to do things to get into them. And then when the water gets a little bit too high, we want to complain and try to get our stuff back. And I want to own the stuff that I wrote. To me, it may not be to nobody else, and I'm sure it's not. To me, that's just a setup to make us all look bad. Look how these idiots are. They're begging us for their stuff back. And most people that are listening to this will be like, what is he talking about? You begging to get your land back. Begging. But you'll walk around in all this makeup and all this weave and all this gold and all this stuff around your neck with a cross on your neck. Acting. Because that's all it is a motherfucking act. When you put on that much jewelry, you acting. This is what you're doing. So there are those that see and those that have witnessed what happens to people that do that type thing. That's why I showed the brother who was the minister at first. He sees what's coming and he can't do it no more. Many of you will be mad at him and cuss him out. This is what we do. We worship entities that have nothing but total disregard from us. Okay, Lisa, that last thing you was going to show?
I don't have anything else. Unless, I don't know, what was I going to say?
It was something else that you were going to share. Oh, about the graveyards.
I was. Well, I mean, I can talk about it, you know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just you mean you're talking about the people the people digging up people and removing them?
Yeah.
All right. So, well, in Virginia, of course, and all over the country, they be digging up our people, and then more recently, they have done this, and they claim they exhumed the bodies and put them in some kind of funeral home. The people, some of our people that was in these graveyards were like very wealthy, evidently, according to the so-called, you know, we don't even know if they really used anthropologists. We don't know what they did, but who said yes to their ancestors being removed? They cut down the trees and made $1.3 million just off the lumber in the graveyard. What are they doing with that money? They removing the bodies, and they, let me see if I can find an article. So let me see. But anyway, they removing the bodies, and they said the one man, he seemed to be quite wealthy because he had bricked in his grave, right? He had it all bricked in. This means that man really didn't want to be messed with. He really wanted to make sure that where the way he had himself situated, he was secure. You know what I mean? The fact that you're gonna take them and they said, "Oh, we're gonna do something with his bricks." You're gonna do what? You're gonna do something with the man's bricks that he paid special care to get? What? Like, no. You don't get to daggone take our people and take their bodies and move them around from place to place. Because why? They want to build an industrial park, y'all. An industrial park. As if we got industrial parks that are abandoned, half-ass used all over this nation. An industrial park is not a necessity. It is not anything that you would need to remove someone's ancestors for. We don't have a shortage of land to the point in this country that we got to move bodies around. I can't take it. It's ridiculous. They just, and it's, let me tell you, Virginia's a criminal. I'm going to do a live in a few minutes, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But I'm going to do a live about Virginia is a criminal. And I'm going to let y'all know they're a criminal. It's a criminal entity. It is not, everything is a criminal entity. But I'm going to tell you, it's so criminal. How in the world? You're removing people's ancestors and they're like, oh yeah, they're letting us be a part of the planning of the replacing of the great. What? They letting us have a say in the planning of it and the design is their take. What? That okay. What benefit? What are they really doing? What kind of gain is it? It's got to be a tremendous gain that they're doing something like this. And why are they doing something like this? What is the real intent? There is got to be a serious intent behind this, because now you acting like this is the only place you can put an industrial park, but you're going to take the time to daggone excavate, get money from the tree. I mean, come on now. They took the bodies away from this graveyard, and this cemetery must be is so big that they made $1.3 million just off the trees. Just off the trees. And the cemetery. What kind of nonsense is that? I found it. I found the article. Hold on. Snake. Oh, they got rid of it? How they make it disappear? Now, hold on. What? They hit the... Oh, did they... I don't see the article no more. Huh.
See, this is one of the reasons we need everybody to be, up on their intelligence, because some information to slide through, then it'll be taken away, so it won't be seen. And so when you hear from somebody like Lisa, oh, she lying, she don't know what she talking about, because
they just removed it. Okay.
And this happens with a whole lot of stuff. So the information that's out now on the Americans, the information that's out, get that information and get it and pass it on to your children, so they'll always have it, because they're going to keep this onslaught that you're pretending, that you Black, that you African American. But as long as you know, it'll never die.
And also, you got to get your data, man. You got to keep your resources. You got to get your information printed out, get the old books, get the daggone, get the hold of the Bibles, get all the resources you can to show and prove everything that you need to show and prove, because they working real fast to try to erase things, remove things, make these things disappear, that we need to know, and we need to know these things. We need to know.
Oh, one more thing I want to say about that too, and this is very important. Always keep this in mind. And see, brothers, we lose on this because we constantly dogging out the sisters. We paying for that now, and we're gonna continue to pay for it as long as we keep playing stupid. Check this out. Remember, every time a woman is born, she's born with the eggs of the children that she's already going to have, which means her grandmama was carrying her. Her great grandmama was carrying her. Her great great grandmama is carrying her. Now, if you don't know nothing about American Indian, you don't know, you won't get it. But what I want you to check out, and this
Oh,
is
here it is.
why
I found it. Thank God. Mm. Okay. Cool. Go ahead.
you threw me off track.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, about the eggs and your great grandma's in her
So,
and the
so,
women.
all those women are carrying you. Remember, from that time, as far as you can go back up until now, you have all that information and stuff that was around with them, they kids, down to you. All that information in between now and then, you have that in you. That's why you got to focus on yourself. That's why you got to check out who your people were. Where did they live? What were the minerals around where they lived? I'm talking about the exact spot. Just don't say I'm part of the tribe and it's some tribe that was made up by somebody else, because Negroes do fall for that daily. Who are your folks, man? Don't leave them hanging out there like that, because they damn sure, and I know you can hear them calling your name. I know you hear it. You will lie and say, I was wearing my ear pods. No, you know, they calling your name. You better listen. Okay, Lisa, I'm through.
Okay. So thank you. So yeah, here it is. It is black graves are being moved to make way for an industrial park. Woo! Isn't that lovely? Drawing a mix of emotions. 4 days ago, a decision to remove the remains of hundreds of African American tenant farmers. We don't really know how old this is, how really they call them tenant farmers. They lie, they lie about, they calling us African Americans. They lie about everything. Former tobacco plantation to a dedicated burial ground has elicited a range of emotions among sharecropper descendants. Some worry about the implications of disturbing the graves of people who were exploited and enslaved. Others, the hopes the remains can be identified and reburied with more respect than they were afforded in life. How are you being reburied, giving you respect? The most unidentified remains are being moved from the site that have not been part of the nation's largest slave owning operations to make way for an industrial park. When they were buried, they weren't considered fully human. All this bullshit, all this dumb mysticism about the fact that we weren't considered. These ignorant ass people need to get the fuck out of our lives with all this nonsense. Cedric Harrison, fucking Accomack name. Archaeologists have already started exhuming and approximately 275. Y'all, 275 plots? They already started exhuming? And their families are already in a funeral home, but will be moved to a new burial site about a mile away. A mile away? They couldn't build the daggone industrial park a mile away, but they can move them a mile away. What is there? What are they really trying to hide? Why are they trying to get ownership of this land? What they really covering up? Whose patent is this? Whose patented land is this? Officials have been consulting with the citizens about genetic testing on unidentified remains, as well as designs for the new cemetery, including a memorial archway. I don't think anybody would want their ancestors exhumed or moved, said Jeff Bennett, whose great-great-great-grandfather was buried at the plantation, but for them to give us a lot of say. So in the new cemetery, down to design details and plaques and memorials that we put up, I feel like they're really doing it in a dignified and a respectful way.
For real, Kyle? For real, cuz?
See, what you know what we're listening, you know what we seeing when we hear him say that Jeff Bennett. I feel importante. That is the failure of every person, is your damn ego. I'm getting attention. I feel important. They giving us a lot of say so in the design and the white tee's giving you attention, huh? You feel important, Negro? You feel important, little African American man? Cause you get some say so in the daggone throwing of your daggone ancestors' bones out of the ground? Your ancestors' bones are being thrown out the ground. Somebody thought that they were sacred. But these people don't. And obviously you don't either.
And one more thing I want to add to that too. And this is very important too. How much did you say they made on the trees that they sold, Lisa, from that place?
Oh, I think it comes at I don't remember reading it all, but yeah, they made $1 million. No, yeah, 1 million. The Industrial
1.3.
Authority has raised 1 million from logging the land to fund the project. Now, how is that funding the project? And how are you going to use that? You building the industrial park. You need to fund the project. The money from the logging need to go to the people. How are you using that money? What the fuck? People are stupid.
So here's something else I want to bring up. So we see what the natural resources from the trees have made. This is just something to think about when you're finding out who you are and doing your genealogy and stuff. Obviously, those trees weren't there when those people were buried. So since those
It's more than that. They building a battery factory there.
Which goes into my point.
$1 billion battery production facility.
Which doubles down.
Tennessee. It's probably the same thing they built in Mason, Tennessee. Remember we talked about Mason, Tennessee? They said it's a Tennessee-based Microporous announced in November it would build a $1.3 billion battery production facility there.
And expects to create 2,000 jobs. So this is my point. Your people are buried in these places, and now these places are worth billions. But guess who turns their back on their folks? The cat who's going to get a say-so into building whatever.
A graveyard.
This is what I'm saying, y'all. This dumb shit that we play all the time, I mean, don't know nothing. This is what happens when we don't know nothing. Nah. So Tay Bay says peace. That's all about violating us. A burn up or a move of ancestors' bones off the land, and it poisons our water. And while that's happening, because what they say is 100%, what we doing?
This is really foul, y'all.
Yeah. But the African American, the Hebrew Israelite, the Moor, the Greek, the Black, what do you think they think about that?
Also, so Jeff says, or whatever the hell that man's name is, I feel like we're re-emphasizing the significance of our ancestors, Bennett says. It's been generations since people used that area to bury people. And now we're rediscovering their stories. And hopefully we can continue to tell those stories to the next generations. So this is the story I told you about. One of the mentors of past lives. Bennett and others reviewed personal items found in the graves, protected in plastic bags. They included eyeglasses, a medicine bottle, a 5-cent coin from 1836. One man was how you a tenant farmer in 1830. One man was buried with a light bulb, socket, and electrical cord. He was an inventor, probably. Another man's grave was lined with bricks, indicating he was wealthy, Bennett said. Those bricks will be repurposed at the new burial site, possibly in the archway. You gonna put the man's protected bricks in the archway? You gonna fucking take his bricks away from his body? These people are insane.
So these are the stories we wanted to bring you, and we want to bring you every week, so you can get an inkling of what's happening right in your face. While and if you've been on social media, you've seen how we've been making ourselves look. Not all of us, the majority. Why all this stuff goes on around you and you just want to skin and grin and do the hand bone. This is what people come over to your country from all over the world and do to you. And you're mighty proud. So Lisa, that's all I got.
I'm with you, man. I'm done with this. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. We got to understand that we got to stand for something, or we going to fall for everything. You got to stand up for something. Or we going to just, everything's going to go down the drain. And like I said today when I was on TikTok, it's okay for me to stand up by myself, but where are the other leaders? Where are the other nations? Because that's when the real change begins. When you got nations upon nations united, organized, under the bloodline, under the genealogy, standing there going shoulder to shoulder saying, and what? What you gonna do now? That's when the power happens. Where is that? Stop thinking about things and do it. It's easier just to do it than to sit up there and watch your life fall apart. Watch the planet fall apart. Watch another entity do something else to your next generation, to your children and grandchildren and everybody that comes after that. We have the power to change the future right now. Let's get busy. Anna.
And one more thing to add to that. This is important, y'all. Those trees that they got 1.3 million from, what other minerals are there that your ancestors had, were buried around, were buried with, that you don't know about because you running off to Africa, you running off to Israel somewhere claiming those are your people? Pay attention to what's happening, y'all. We're giving you the information. It's about you. What do you say? What your ancestors say? What did your ancestors have you for? This damn show wouldn't be a Black African American. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.